all. Good morning, all. Uh, I'm going to share my screen. I hope you have understood what I have taught you earlier. Yes. So, good afternoon once again, and welcome to the lecture of architecture of 8085 microprocessor, and which we are expecting you to learn. In the last class, we have studied about how to uh, how to make a program using a memory location, right? I hope that program should be with you now, and we are trying to use that program, and we are trying to understand how the program is being executed by step when the instructions are being executed. So that this is the main basic that we are starting today. So we have done with this. In the last class, I hope I have taught you this architecture of 8085. Then this was the block diagram. Yes, yes. This was the registers present over there. Now okay, right. So hopefully we will be starting with this. So yes, overall structure of 8085 microprocessor. In this, we have studied about the kit of microprocessor, in which I have tried to show you. This is the microprocessor 8085 IC, and these are some of the. This is 8255. This is interfacing PPI, that is programmable peripheral interface. Then these are the EPROMs, and these are the memory locations, slots of memory. Then this is the display. These are some of the keys to feed the program. This is how it looks when we switch on the 8085 microprocessor kit. Now today we are going to learn about how this bus structure is there in 8085. Now we have learned about the 8085 block diagram, internal block diagram of 8085. In that, what we have studied, that it contains some registers, some register pairs. Then we have program counter, we have stack pointer, then we have increment decrement address latch, then arithmetic and logical unit, accumulator register. Then we have say the temporary register, then interrupt controller on the top, and timing and control unit in the bottom. That is what we have studied. And today, now, how this microprocessor is going to communicate with the peripheral devices or the memory or the other devices, that is what we are trying to learn over here now. And in that case, I would like that you should also try to understand what type of program I have given to you, and the execution of each and every instruction, what will be the cause, or what will be the implications of those each and every instruction which we are going to execute in that program. So I hope we have done a program in which I have told you that we are going to add two datas, one of which is by default is to be stored in the accumulator, and the other one, now in our program, we are going to save it in the memory location, right? So what we have done there, so keep that program in front of you and try to understand what I need to tell you, and how this microprocessor is going to communicate with the other peripheral device. So sorry, as you know that this the left hand side block which is written over here, 8085 MPU. So that is the microprocessor unit 8085. What it contains, it contains the address line which starts from A0 and last to A15. So there are 16-bit address bus, address wires. 16 wires are there. So these 16 wires are going to take the address of the memory location which is specified in the program. So what this A0 and 85. So this is a 16-bit address bus. Now if you are able to see, this is going to communicate with the memory, as well as if we are having input output devices. So input devices and output devices, if you want to say give the address of input device, or if you want to give the address of the output devices from where we are expecting the data to come. So we have to mention that address on this address line. So this address line is going to communicate or to say take the data or receive the data or load the data or write the data by using this address bus. The initial phase was we are going to use the memory. So the memory which we are expecting to use is from here. मेरा क्लास चालू नहीं ना, मोबाइल पे इसी का अभी चालू है ना मैडम का हाँ दे दूंगा मैं, ठीक है 1:15 बजे होगा मैडम, 1:15 बजे होगा. So excuse me. So what I need to tell you here is address bus. Now this address bus is going to take the address of that particular memory location. Now since the program which we have written here is concerned with the memory location, so the address which is specified in the HL pair, which we have kept say 6050, so that address 6050 is taken by this address bus. Now this is given to this memory location, which implies that it will go directly to that location, that is 6050, and that address, at that address, whatever data is being located, whatever data is being stored, that data is now being taken by this data line, that is data bus. So this is the two-way communication. While writing, the data is to be written in the memory. While taking the data for processing, we can use the same data bus. So this 8-line data bus is going to communicate, which is shown in the downward direction, D0 to D7, is going to communicate with the memory as well as the input as well as the output devices or to the output outside world. So these are going to give you the data of that. Now in our program, coming to our program, what we have done, we have first stored the data to the accumulator. The instruction was MVI A03, which implies that 03 is to be loaded into the accumulator. So the first data, that is the data of to be added, the first data by default is to be stored in the accumulator. So that data is stored in the accumulator, that is by using the instruction MVI A03. Opcode is 3E and 03 is the data, right? This is what we have done. Now second instruction was LXI HL 6050, which implies that we have to specify the address of the memory location 6050 in register pair HL. So we are storing that address in the register pair HL. So we have stored that by using this instruction LXI H. Opcode was 21 and the other one was the lower address that is 50, and then the higher address that is 60. So we have stored the address in the HL. Now the next instruction was add M, which implies that the data of the memory location that is specified in the HL pair. तो HL पेयर में हम लोगों ने 6050 ये जो स्टोर किया है, ये उस एड्रेस का, उस डेटा का एड्रेस है जहां पर हम लोग डेटा स्टोर करने वाले, right? So we are putting that address. When I say add M, now the microprocessor is going to give that address through HL pair, through the data which is specified in the HL pair, यानी register H और L में जो data दिया है, that is actually the address. वो एड्रेस ये एड्रेस बस पर आएगा, वो मेमोरी में उस लोकेशन पर जाएगा और वहां से जो डेटा है वो डेटा यहाँ से इधर आएगा. और वो डेटा अभी सबसे पहले कहा जाएगा, अगर आप लोगों को मेमोरी लोकेशन याद है, हमारा से आर्किटेक्चर अगर याद है, तो आर्किटेक्चर में हम लोगों ने वो चीज देखी थी. यस, सो ये आर्किटेक्चर में अब आप आया हो. अब हम लोग 8085 के अंदर है. So we are inside 8085. Now this data by using this data line, data bus. यहाँ से it is put to the temporary register over here. So the microprocessor is now receiving the data from the address or from the memory location 6050, and now it is putting in the temporary register. So now the accumulator is having one data, the temporary register is having second data. Now these are going to be added in the arithmetic and logical unit, and the result is again going to be stored in the accumulator, right? So this much of the portion is done by the microprocessor while execution of this instruction. So add M is going to be executed now. Now what next we are going to do? We are not able to see the data in the accumulator itself. So what we are going to do? We are going to move that data, move the result, move the data of the accumulator into the memory location. We are expecting the data, the result is to be stored in the memory location. So what we will do now? We will move the data. So the instruction is move M to A. Move means move the data of the accumulator to the memory location. Writing wise, we will write like move M comma A, but execution wise we have to read it like move the data of accumulator to memory location, move A to M, right? So we are going to do that. So for that, what we have to do, if you give that instruction, which means that it will hamper our original second data. So what I will do, I will increment the memory location. So I have used the instruction INXHL. Wherever the instruction has X in it, implies that it is concerned with the register pair. So INXH means increment the content of the register pair HL by 1. So I am using INXHL. So we will be going in depth through those instructions as such, but you don't have to worry. But just to understand the program, we are going through that. So INXH H is going to increment the content of the register pair by 1. So initially it was 6050. After execution of INXHL, what will happen? It will increment to 6051. So the next memory location address is there in the HL pair. Now what we will do? We will move that data, move the data of the accumulator to that specified memory location. So now that data is going to be moved through this address bus. It is going to show you 6051. The address bus is going to take the data from the accumulator through microprocessor, and it will load, it will write the data in the memory location specified by HL pair. Now this is going to be controlled by this control bus. This control bus is going to control all those input and output devices, including the memory. So here at that in the last line, if you are able to see over here, we are having a control bus, which implies that the control bus is going to control each and every part of the kit or each and every part of the microprocessor full unit. So this control bus is going to communicate with that. Now, when I talk about memory, I need to store the data of the accumulator in the memory, which means that the control line is going to activate this memory of that particular memory address 6051, and this data bus is going to store that data over there. So this is how this complete procedure is done in this microprocessor kit, that particular unit, and this is how it works. So this 8085 bus structure, which is shown in this block diagram, this diagram gives you the perfect detail of how the microprocessor is going to use the the address latch, address bus, as well as the data bus. Now here some students are going to get themselves confused, because now I have not shown a separate or say a multiplex AD0 to AD7 line over here, but of course it is over there itself. Just for understanding, I have make it different. So I have shown here in this block diagram, we are showing here differently that A0 to A15, we are making it a 16 line bus, but it is there. And the data line, that is D0 to 7, also we are separating it. But it means, but actually this is interface, this is multiplexed over here, and the AD0 to AD7 are being multiplexed. So when we use only address line, then it will show you A0 to 50. But when you want to use it say the data bus, then it will be AD0 to 7, and then it will only be taking the data or moving the data, and that is D0 to D7. So this is the complete bus structure where the microprocessor is going to communicate with the other peripheral devices, which might be the memory. So memory, in fact, is concerned with the IC, which we call it as a direct memory access. So the memory is accessed directly over here by using those instructions. So this is one of the most important block diagram of a microprocessor unit. Now I'm not talking about the IC, I'm talking about the kit which we have shown you. So this kit, we need to show you the kit. So this is the kit I'm talking. So if this is that 8085 IC, now how this 8085 IC is going to communicate with this memory, this peripheral devices. From here we are going to take the data outside the processor. So that is how this is going to work. So this is all done by this microprocessor. Inside it, we are having 16-bit wires which are going to communicate with memory, and which are going to communicate with the output and input devices like. So these are all there in the kit. So I am showing you this. This is the complete bus structure of 8085 microprocessor unit or microprocessor kit, right? So this is over there. Then we are having the overall structure of this. So this is again a generalized diagram of say 8085 kit. Now here again I am showing you multiplex AD0 to AD7, which implies that we are using this. So here it is now clear that the address which is over here A8 to A15 and AD7 to AD0. So when we are using this as an address bus, these are going to combine themselves, and they are going to use in the memory. So 1 kilobyte memory is over there in the microprocessor kit. And again, if you are able to see here, read, write bar, input, output, memory bar, these are all the control signals. So these are going to be controlled by the timing and control unit, and these are going to communicate with the memory. So now memory is going to work when the microprocessor is going to send the instructions, that the instruction is something which is related to the memory. So whenever I say add M, so the microprocessor itself communicates with the memory by using this read, write, or input, output, oblique, memory bar lines. So these are generated by the timing and control unit. They are going to communicate to this memory location, the memory ICs, and from there the data bus is going to take the data. While writing the data, this write terminal is going to be going to be low. So whenever this write terminal is low, which implies that 8085 is going to write the data in the memory location, right? Whereas whenever this read terminal is low, if you are able to see over here, this read terminal is low, which implies that the data is to be read from the memory location, and the data is to be taken from the memory location for processing in the microprocessor 8085. So this data bus is going to control that. This data bus is going to give the data to write, as well as this data bus itself is going to read the data. Means whenever the data is to be taken from the memory to the microprocessor, this data bus is going to be active. Similarly, when we have to write the data, which implies that this address line is going to give the address where we want to write the data, and this data bus is going to give the data which we are expecting to write in the memory location. So in our case, we have written the data written the data in the memory address 6051. So that 6051 is specified this 16-bit address line, address bus A0, A9 to A10 to A15. So this is going to work, sorry, this should be A0 to A7, and from the other it should be A9 to A15, right? So this is going to work. So here something we are having some chip selections also. So memories are having some chips. So this A10 to A15 are going to select the chips, whereas A0 to A9 are going to give you the address location. So these are there, they are multiplexed here, and some of them are again being multiplexed over here. So three wires are again multiplexed over here. So we are having 10 lines for 1 kilobyte of data address, and we are going to select different chips. So those selections can be done by these lines A10 to A15. So this is over there, and this is a latch, address latch, latch IC, which are going to latch this, whether this bus is going to be used for the address line or for the data line, that is being controlled by this address latch enable signal. And this is the IC ALE, address latch enable IC. I hope 8273 is the IC that we have shown you earlier. So this is there, and these are the control lines which are being controlled by the read, write, and input output oblique memory bar. So the same line, that is input output oblique memory bar, is used for input output devices as well as for the memory. So at a time only one we are going to use. We might use for input output, or we might go for the memory. So this is done by using the input output memory bar signal. Now as you are able to see, input output is active high, whereas memory is active low. Memory bar means the same line, if it is kept at 1, which implies that it is going to communicate with the input output devices, whereas when it is kept low, this same wire is kept low, implies that this is concerned with the memory. So this is controlled by the timing and control unit internally. So that block we have studied over there in the internal architecture. I'd like to show you that internal architecture again. So I'm going to show you this. So this was the internal architecture, and here if you are able to see timing and control unit in the bottom of this, so this whole unit controls all those signals. So these are going to send those signals to those particular devices, the input output devices, as well as the memory. So these signals, which are very important, and these are generated by the timing and control unit depending on the instruction register or the instruction decoder block. So this is going to decode that particular instruction, and then only it is going to generate these signals, and those signals are being given to the microprocessor or to the microprocessor kit, and there a particular segment is going to work. So these are the architecture. I hope you have got this, and if you have any queries regarding these two things, I expect from your side that you should ask questions in the next. Hopefully this is again having the communication of that. We'll be studying tomorrow in the class. So if you have any queries, you are welcome, and I will like to resolve those difficulties, right? So this is there. If you have any queries, you can ask me on the chat box itself, or you can ask me. By now, thank you very much for your listening, and I hope you have understood this. Stay at home, be safe, and take care.